Everything clear now? Just show your thumbs. Everything clear now? All right. So Newton's laws of motion is derived from the branch dynamics, and dynamics is derived from the branch mechanics. So first, let us define. So we already we are discussing generally the state of an object, state of motion of an object, and force. So Newton's laws of motion mainly describes the object, mainly describes in the form of three laws, which is the relation between state of an object in motion, and force. So Newton's laws of definition. The relation between state of an object, state means rest or motion, state of an object and force is expressed in terms of three laws called Newton's laws of motion. So you can define Newton's laws of motion in this way. The relation between state of an object and force is expressed in terms of three laws of motion called Newton's laws of motion. You already know, obviously, name itself. It was proposed by Isaac Newton, right? So Newton, let us first concentrate on Newton's first law. Let us first concentrate on Newton's first law. Let me take this pic. Right. So Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion. So before defining this Newton's first law of motion, we should know the concept of inertia, as I was telling about inertia. So inertia and this first law of motion, both are interlinked. We can call inertia as a special case of law of conservation of moment. I mean, laws of motion. So inertia. That means an object which is at rest will continue in the state of rest only. Object which is at rest will continue in the state of rest only. And object which is in motion will continue in the state of motion. They can't change the body or object cannot change its state. That is called that inability. Inability means not able. So object at rest will continue in rest only. Object in motion will continue in motion only. So these 2 points you have to know. Already I told you. So unless there is an external force, the objects will continue their states. States may be either in rest or of motion. So the body itself cannot change its state. That inability is called inertia. Inertia is a phenomenon or property. It is not a physical quantity. Inertia is not a physical quantity just like a force. But inertia is measured in terms of mass. I am going to discuss. So the inability or the body which can't able to change its state either in motion or rest, that inability is called inertia. So definition. The inability means opposite of able. Ability means which will happen. Enables means not happens. The inability of a body to change its state of rest or of motion. Is called inertia. The inability of a body to change its state of rest or motion is called inertia. So let us see what exactly the inertia in terms of example. Let us see example here. Example. So if a bicycle is there, we can stop the person coming from the bicycle. We can stop, but we cannot stop the lorry or car. So when the lorries and the cars, when they are going, we can't able to stop, because when we stop, if we are stopping the person who is coming with less speed in cycle, means it is possible, because it is having less mass. Cycle is having less mass. If the person is coming with less speed, we can stop, because we can stop. But the lorries or which are heavier vehicles, we cannot stop, because they have more mass. I can say that whichever is having more mass will have more inertia. So the cycle is having less mass. That's why less inertia. And cars or lorries which are heavier, they are having, so mass is directly, inertia is directly proportional to mass of the body. So we can say mass is the measure of inertia. This is very, very important. Mass is the measure of inertia. Very, very important. More the mass, more the inertia. So inertia is a property which it is enabled to, the body is unable to change its state either in rest or motion. We can express inertia in terms of its mass of an object. If the object is more, it will have more inertia. If the object is having less mass, it is having less inertia. So before going to the types of inertia, let me take the pic. Everybody understanding now? Just show your thumb on your video and show the thumb, because I can't. Very good. So types of inertia. There are 3 types. Inertia are three types. First one, inertia of rest. The second one, inertia of motion. Third one, inertia of direction. So inertia can be explained in three types. Inertia of rest, that means the inability of the ability of a body to continue in the state of rest. You see, you can define here two types. When you say the ability of a body to continue in the state or inability of a body to change its state of rest. So we should, if you are saying ability, what is ability here? It will continue in the state of rest only. What is inability here? It cannot change its state of, that is inability. So the ability or inability, the ability of a body to continue in the state of rest is called inertia of rest. The ability of a body to continue in the state of rest is called inertia of rest. So the ability of a body to continue in the state of rest is called inertia of rest. Already I told. So when the tree, examples, when the branches of the tree are shaken or given a jerk, all the fruits will come and fall down vertically downwards. They won't move. They won't just go and fall down somewhere. They are going to fall down at where the fruits are located. Vertically downwards, they are going to fall because they will continue in the state of rest. So, example we can write, when the branches of the tree are shaken, all the fruits will fall vertically downwards. That means tree is there. When we shake, all the fruits will come and vertically downwards. So because they want to continue in the state of rest only, they are going to continue in the state of rest. They will continue in the state of rest only. This is first example. So there you can, so many example. If you just when you are when the bus starts suddenly, so let me write here. So here I am writing second example. When the bus at rest starts suddenly, all the passengers fall backwards. Because when we are at rest means, our body will come, upper part of the body will be like this only, but our lower part, legs, they are in contact with bus. They will continue to be in the rest only because the bus was earlier at rest. When it starts, the legs will move forward and our body will fall downwards. So that is the experience because of inertia of rest. Even though the bus started, our feet, which is in contact with the bus, still continue in the state of rest. That's why it will move in the direction of bus and we will fall backwards. That is due to inertia of rest. So still another example you can take. So when the coin is there, you place coins one upon each other, coins. So you can just, if you push this coin with a jerk, what happens? All these coins will continue in the state of rest only. But you have to give gentle push or pull so that all the coins will continue vertically like that only. They are not disturbed. But you have to give the jerk very carefully. It should be with a fraction of a second. Immediately you have to take. If you just like this or like this means tilt, these coins will be disturbed. Already I told, when we strike a coin, when you hit a force, this will move and all this will be in like that only. So they will continue in the state of rest only. So these three examples you can consider as inertia of rest because the objects wants to be in the rest only. In the similar way, you can treat the examples of dust particles. Suppose we might be seeing the carpets which are having dust particles. How we are going to eliminate the dust particles? We will just in front of the sun, we will make the carpet to lie and we will beat with the stick. All the dust particles will come and fall vertically downwards. They won't come and fall somewhere else. They won't take the shape of the circle or parabolic path. They will just fall down wherever they are. So that is due to earlier they are in rest, they will continue in the state of rest. Even though we have given jerk or we are beating with hand, all the dust particles will come and fall down vertically downwards. Now let us go to opposite of this, inertia of motion. So instead of rest here, ability of a body to continue in the state of motion is called inertia of motion. The ability of a body to continue in the state of motion is called inertia of motion. That means when the object is at rest, it will continue in the state of rest only. So that is called inertia. Now let us see what is the examples here. First example, I will take the same. When we are traveling in the bus, when the driver suddenly applies the brake, we fall down forwards. That is because due to the inertia, already inertia of motion is there in our body. When it stops, we are going to fall forwards, opposite to just like inertia of rest. So example, when we are traveling in a bus, when the driver applies the brakes, when the driver applies the brake, we fall forwards. We fall forwards. And another example you can take, because when we are traveling, already inertia of motion is there. When driver applies brakes, so we will fall forward. Now, so inertia of motion, best example, I will take the example of a person who is about to take a long jump So long jump means what? So the person will go back, go 1 meter or 2 meters back from the reference line, and then he will jump. Actually, why? So if the reference line is there, suppose I will show here. I will show here. I will show here. So this is the reference line. So if a person who is want to jump, what he will just move backwards. So from here onwards, he will be running. So what happens if he is running? During running, he will gain inertia of motion, which makes him to take a long jump, to take a longer jump. So while running, he will gain. Suppose if he runs means he will just come and fall here. If he is running from back onwards, during this he is gaining inertia of motion, which will make him to jump very far distance. That means an athlete before running, he will go back from the reference line where he wants to jump, so that when he is running from the back onwards, during running, he will gain inertia of motion. He will gain inertia of motion, so that it will allow him to take a longer jump. If he take a jump from less distance, he will not take a longer jump. So that's why he will go backward and he is going to take longer jump. So this is about inertia of motion. Now let us see inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. What? The ability of a body to continue in the same direction. The ability of a body to continue in the same direction. Is called inertia of direction. See here, you can ask. So examples, you might be seeing in welding shop or sharpening of the knife. So when any person will come to your home to sharpen the knife, so what happens? The wheel will be rotating. So here the person will be there. The wheel will be rotating. The wheel will be rotating. This is the wheel, and he will keep the knife here, and he will keep the knife. You can see the sparks coming like this. So during the sharpening of the knife, this is tangentially. The sparks are this shape we used to call tangentially. The sparks will come down. Tangentially means just like parabolic paths. So during the sharpening of the knife, the sparks which are coming from because of the friction between the wheel and the knife, fire is produced. Due to that, heat is produced. So all actually they have to continue in the same direction, but because of friction, they will move tangentially. That is one example. Another example you can take, when a bus is moving. Suppose a school bus is there. It is moving. So school bus is moving means, so whenever any turn comes, so initially it is moving in a straight line. Whenever a turn comes, sudden turn comes. So when the bus takes sudden turn, All because you are all moving in the same direction. But bus, when it is taken, when it is changed in its direction, so you all already in the straight line direction, all the passengers in the bus will be thrown outwards. Like this we will feel, like this we will feel. So that is because due to the disturbance created by the driver to turn, so automatically your direction also. So all the passengers in the bus, when the bus takes sudden turn, will be thrown outwards. This is because due to inertia of direction. This inertia is very, very important concept as far as Newton's first law of motion is concerned. If you understand only, we can understand Newton's first law. So Newton's first law, till now I have not defined Newton's first law because just you should be aware of this inertia. Then only we'll understand the slight change between inertia and Newton's first law of motion definitions. So Newton's first law of inertia is a special case. We can call Newton's first law of motion is also called law of inertia. Underline this point because almost all definitions are same. Just we will use external force in Newton's first law of motion. We don't use external force here. But Newton's first law of motion, we will use the term external force. So you have to understand, you have to be aware of that inertia is a special case. This is a special case from which we have derived Newton's first law of motion. So first law of motion can be also called as law of inertia. Let me take this pic. So I hope you have understood inertia and examples and types of inertia. Let us have a doubt section.
Sir?
One by one.
Sir, can you please move the board left side?
Move the board.
Sir, left side.
Sir?
No, left side, sir.
Sir?
Hello, sir.
One at a time.
Sir, please move. Sir,
Sir, please move right side, sir.
sir, move at left side, sir.
Left side, move, sir.
Left.
to right, sir.
Please
Right
move
side.
left side, sir.
Sir, right side, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyhow, I am going to say one by one.
No, sir.
Please.
board to
Remaining, be silent. One by one. I am going to eliminate. I'm going to remove from the group. Please, one by one you ask.
Sir, please.
Tell me, what is your doubt?
Sir.
Who is talking? Tell me.
Sir, please move, sir.
Tell me. You can ask your doubt by saying your name and branch.
Sir, my name is Venkateswara, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Venkateswara, come on, say.
Sir, what is in my indirect motion, sir?
Indirect. What is that indirect? Hey, it is your law of motion or what? What is it? You are inventing new laws of motion?
Sir.
Indirect what? Then Anna, ask clearly what is your doubt?
Sir, we are getting disturbance, sir.
Disturbance, that is the mistake committed by the air in between you and me. That is the mistake created by air. Signal. We cannot catch that disturbance, that signal. Because of that signal, disturbance will come, signal also will come. No disturbance, no signal. No disturbance, no signal. Newton's fourth law. It is your law. Tell me.
Class is completed, sir.
Venkateswara, Naina. Venkateswara, where are you?
Class is completed, sir.
Venkateswara, will ask a doubt. Where is that boy disappeared?
Went away, sir.
Went to Tirupati.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
We already in Tirupati, Venkateswara appeals.
Class is
Any more
completed,
doubts?
sir.
Alright, any more doubts? Class is going on, Nora. I'm asking your doubts now. Class is going on, class is completed.
Please adjust
Any
doubt, sir.
emergency, is there any emergency or urgent? Anything urgent you can leave. Any emergency you can leave. I cannot send 108. Any emergency means you can leave. No 108, no 104 options are available here.
No doubt, sir.
No
You can
doubt,
leave.
sir.
No doubt means you can
No
leave.
doubt, sir.
Yes. I hope that you will ask doubts.
No doubt,
Sir, it is
sir.
very easy topic, no, sir.
Yes,
Very
sir.
easy topic.
Sir, one
Sir,
question, inertia of
It is
direction,
very
sir.
easy topic for Parmula
So
only,
once,
sir.
once again,
Because she is the
explain,
topper of.
Right here.
example,
Somebody is asking
example of
direction.
inertia of direction, sir.
Yes.
Inertia of
Inertia of direction means the ability of a body to somebody is making a nuisance. Who is that? Arey, that is not natural air. Signal is disturbed by artificial air. Somebody is blowing with mouth. Somebody is blowing with mouth.
Mics.
Okay. So,
Example of inertia of direction.
example of inertia means during sharpening of the knife, when the knife is kept, so actually that has to go like this, but all the sparks will come and fall down tangentially. You can be experiencing in welding shop also. So why that sparks?
So another example you tell.
Another example means when you are in a bus, when you are in a bus or school bus, when you are in a bus, when the drivers take sudden turn, so you will be far outwards. That small jerk will be experienced by you because the driver is taking its direction.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So class
And even,
completed, sir.
And even inertia. Okay, who is that? Class is going on. This is also class. Whenever I write on the board, that itself is not class. This is also class. If you have any emergency, you go on.
Sir.
ఒరే ఎవరికైనా తెలుగులో చెప్తున్నా అర్జెంట్ అయితే వెళ్ళిపోండి ఇంకా నేను అంతకంటే చెప్పలేను రా నాయనా. నాకు ఏ భాష రాదా
Sir.
ఒరే క్లాస్ అయిపోయిందా క్లాస్ క్లాస్ లోనే ఉన్నాను రా నేను.
That is the doubt, sir.
We are discussing doubts. We are in the class only. ఎవరికైనా ఎమర్జెన్సీ అయితే వెళ్ళిపోండి
No,
నా
sir.
కోసం వెయిట్ చేయండి మమ్మల్ని పంపింది
No, sir. That is the doubt, sir.
రైట్ ఎనీ మోర్
Sir.
When we throw
somebody say your name and branch.
sir, I am Vaishnavi from Harnatpuram branch.
Say from little bit louder your voice ma, very less voice.
Sir, I am Vaishnavi from Harnatpuram branch.
Vaishnavi from Arnatpuram, ask your question ma.
Sir, when we throw anything from the outside of a car, it moves in the opposite direction. No, sir.
Sorry,
Is that inertia of direction or inertia of motion, sir?
which one
When we throw anything from the outside of any vehicle, outside of car.
that is not inertia of motion, that is actually that is inertia of motion, because when you are throwing anything, actually when you are throwing anything outside, actually you are in motion only. When whatever you throw also, actually it has to go straight, but it will move and fall down in a tangential way, in a parabolic path. That is inertia of motion will come, inertia of direction also will come.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Because
sir.
the whatever you throw, it has to go straight, no? But it is due to gravity, it is following parabolic path.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Sir only, I am not a madam.
Sir. Core branch, sir. Sir.
Bujita.
Yes, sir.
నువ్వు ఇంకా రాలేదురా ఏంద్రా సీన్ లో
Sir, tell another example for inertia of direction, sir.
Inertia of direction.
Another example, sir.
You might be experiencing whirling. You take one object and you whirl with a thread. So you will be just like whirling a thread. You will be like this. You are doing, no? So what happens whenever you suddenly whenever you release that, thread, what will happen? The thread will come and fall down tangential. It won't come and fall like this. It will move tangential. That is also an example of inertia of direction.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome. Yes, tell me. Only 4 or 5 members are there. I don't know what happens. Just here, mind present, body absent. I can't able to see them. Here, mind present, body is absent. That means you are on the links, but I can't able to see your faces. Yes, tell me. Durga, Sravya.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt, sir. Hey, what is that? You are singing like a. Hey, you are. మీకు సాగినట్టు ఎవరు సాగట్లేదు హ్యాపీగా పడుకొని ఉంటారు ఒకరు డౌట్స్ అడగమంటే డౌట్స్ అంటే ఏంద్ర నాయన రాఘవేంద్ర కొత్త ట్యూన్ ఏంటది మీకు అట్లా ఉందిరా నాయన మాకు ఎంజాయింగ్ లైక్ ఎనీథింగ్
Sir, somebody are asking, can we leave or not, sir?
Emergency, you can leave. How many times I have to say that? Any emergency? Hey, can I explain on that board? What is that emergency?
No need, sir.
No need, sir.
Huh?
No need, sir.
No need, sir.
You are very much familiar with emergency because. Okay. Right. Yes, tell me. Clear. Shall I ask questions?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Huh?
On
What
today's
is the
topic, sir.
What is the SI unit of inertia?
Sir?
What is the SI unit of inertia? Everything you said that you understood. Very easy topic. Easy topic.
Formula don't like damage.
I want the units, SI units of inertia.
Formula
I said very clearly starting. What is the SI unit of inertia? Pujit, what is the SI unit of inertia? That boy disappeared.
kilogram.
Ritvika, SI unit of inertia.
Kilogram.
Ritvika, SI unit of inertia. I asked to say the answer, not to laugh. Don't show your teeth. SI unit of inertia.
Kilograms.
What? So whenever I ask doubts, all are disappearing.
Sir?
Kilograms.
Sir?
Yes, sir. 43 members only, sir.
Who is that speaking? Pujita.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, another time tell that question, sir.
What are the SI units of inertia?
The measure only, no, sir.
Sir.
Hey,
Kilograms.
say the answer. Don't ask another question.
Sir, resound coming, sir. Sir, kilograms, sir.
Kilograms. Why kilogram?
Don't know, sir, but kilograms only answer.
Why it is kilogram for inertia? SI unit. Because inertia we have to measure in terms of mass. Mass is the measure of inertia.
And also in meters, sir.
Sir, because the mass of the object is measure of inertia, sir.
Mass is the measure of inertia. So whatever the units per mass, same units are applicable for inertia.
Kilograms.
Is it clear?
Sir, she got this.
What? Okay, shall we leave?
Sir? No, sir. Sir, ask questions. Not overtime, sir.
More time, huh?
Questions ask, sir.
Questions.
Last question, sir.
Define inertia.
Sir, now also 43 only, sir.
Define inertia.
Inability of a body to change.
The
Define
inability of
inertia.
a body to change its state of rest or of motion is called inertia.
Define inertia of motion.
The inability of a body to change
Ability
its
of
state
body to
of
continue in state of
motion or
motion.
rest.
Motion or rest?
Motion,
Inertia
sir.
of
So the
motion
ability
is
of body to continue in the state of rest is called inertia of rest.
okay, right.
Sir, see, sir, now 35 members only, sir.
35 members. Okay, tomorrow.
All are
Who is
escaping.
clapping? I think clapping.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So we'll meet tomorrow. We are going to.
Okay, sir.
Sir, 443 only, sir.
Arey, what will happen? Sir?
So one boy is disturbing, sir.
Newton's first law of motion we are going to discuss. What is the other name for Newton's first law of motion?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Sir,
What is the other name for Newton's first law of motion?
First class.
Law of rest.
Law of inertia, sir.
Law.
inertia.
Yeah.
What is the other name for law of inertia?
Newton's law.
Newton's law.
Not laugh.
You are all waiting. You are all not sleeping. I came to know. Now you are okay. Okay. Tomorrow inertia. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about Newton's first law of motion. After that, Newton's second law of motion. After that, Newton's third law.
Newton's third law.
Newton's second
Okay,
law.
sir.
Newton's second law. We are going to derive the formula for force. That is very
Okay, sir.
interesting also.
Okay, sir.
Very interesting.
Equal to MA.
Right.
Sir,
Sir, thank you, sir.
Sir, both